Hello, I am Heli Oruaas from Estonian Qualifications Authority. But as Paiva and Indra started with terminology, I have to start from the terminology also. As far as our authority translated as Qualifications Authority, we maintain the professions. So I am the manager of Register of Professions. And in Estonian language, we have one word for all the terms in English language, like vocation, education, qualification, occupation, and it also means invitation. I got invitation to come here. And it also means when God calls you and you have mission in life. So historically, your qualification was your mission in life. and we add prefix to our only one word, kutse, like kutsekoda, chamber of all these professions, vocations, qualifications. We had prefix and then we get like qualified professional. But it doesn't make anything more clear. It still might mean all of that, qualification, profession, occupation, and your mission, and it might mean only one part of that. But in more detail, I try to explain the situation in Estonia. I am from this left pillar, and on the right pillar is the labor market, and between them is our educational system. And our educational information system and our Register of Profession are both maintained by Ministry of Education and Research. In education information system is the qualification as we talk today, the formal education curriculums. And in our Register of Professions are professional standards and professional certificates and the owners of the professional certificates. And in education information system, there are also all the students, all the curriculums, all the schools, and they even can't say how far back the information is dated. It's really historical. But infotechnology, in web, it's launched 2005. But in the lower right corner is where the money is circling. It's the labor market. And we like to think that we are in the service of the labor market. So there are more than 160 requirements to access to the labor market. If you want to be architect, engineer, doctor, nurse, veterinary, or special kind of machine driver, several activities. And other ministries and other databases have their own certificates, their proofs and licenses, but also they use data from formal education and from our system of professional professions. So there is, what I want to say, that there is lot of other qualification in Estonian language meanings that out of this picture. But in our Register of Professions, which is founded in year 2001, we have 14 professional councils and professional standards and more than 100 awarding bodies. And latest improvement is that there is also universities and higher education providers, and at the moment 2 vet providers. And we have issued more than 100,000 professional certificates. And with the professional certificate, there is Oruaas professional certificate supplement, also published in our register. And the users are Estonian Qualification Authority. We use that our register as tool to operate everyday work. Also, of course, awarding bodies who create data about professional certificates. And also public users are professional certificate owners, other ministries, offices and boards, of course schools. And latest users are procurement organizers and also the applicants. So if somebody looking for specialist for do something, they say that I need this or that specialist on level 7 or 5 or 8. And according to the Google Analytics, there are some numbers how our web page is used, how often. These are the average numbers of 5 years. And there is not our organization visitors. And we have a lot of data, but the structure is quite simple. Most important, but the smallest but most important, is the Register of Professional Councils. They make all the decisions. We like to say, we say that this is the work order for us as the register. And they make decisions to initiate the professional standards and to give right to award the profession to awarding bodies. And we, in our register, we maintain the professions on level 8, because if somebody is behaving on level 1, it's not a job, it's more about qualification of the supporting system. But level descriptors are quite same as in Latvia. 1 is the lowest and 8 is the highest. And of course, the most important outcome is the Register of Professional Certificates. And with them came the Oruaas Professional Certificate supplement. And we have online database, and we can pre-insert the professional standards. This makes our work much easier, because the process of creating a professional standard is quite long. It at least 10 months, and it might take several years. And as far as the structure of the professional standard, it is a little bit complicated. We can see a lot of mistakes in face when we insert information in our system. And we have online database, but we renew our peak reports once during the night. So you always get yesterday's data. And we have, with our Estonian Education Information System, X-Road connection and they use our professional standards to validate vet curriculums, because the vet curricula must base on professional standards. For higher education, it's optional. And of the Register of Professional Certificates also online published. It's very important. Everyone wants to see immediately their certificate online. And we use also Estonian most important and most popular X-Road service from population register to validate certificate owner's name and ID code. And we used to have more than 100 certificate with wrong data, because when the applicants was written down their name and ID code, and then the awarding body was making mistake when he typed it in our register, there were a lot of mistakes. But now it's automatical. If you know the ID code, the awarding body get automatic reply from population register, and if the name is not that what he saw on the application, then the ID code is not correctly typed. And our Register of Professional Certificates has 9 external users via X-Road. I show the list of them later. And 2 users are in negotiation state. Oh, can you see that list? And so the first one is the most important and popular X-Road service. The second one is weird for us, but it's mandatory by law for us. We have more than 100 awarding bodies, and we have to use Estonian National Geoportal addresses provided from that portal. So they want to be so sure that we have the correct address for awarding bodies. And then we have linked to the, Citizen National Web Portal, Estonia.ee, where is the citizens can see all the every data that state knows about him. Educational information, your driving licenses, your medical history, when your pet is vaccinated, and also your professional certificates. And if in public vet we have only not expired certificates, then in this portal you can also see your expired certificates. And then Estonian Sports Register is quite unique in our system because we exchange data with them. Estonian Sports Register is gathering data about coaches, and coach has to have professional certificate if he wants to train young people or some national team. And there are thousands of them, and there is this register is sending us their all information and get back our certificate registration number and printed certificate. So they fill data only their own register, and our professional certificates register and sports register changing information so that they doesn't have to double insert information in 2 different registers. And then register of economic activities, it's related with these 163 different regulations. For example, if you want to be constructor in difficult building areas, you have to have license from Register of Economic Activities, but you get this license only if you have professional certificate and required education. And so this register is checking the existence of the professional certificate. And then Unemployment Insurance Foundation is planning to the personal training according the previous education and professions. And then Statistics Estonia is counting all the professional certificates to the rate of qualified population. Several years ago, if the person have only general education and professional certificate, it wasn't counted as the qualified workforce. Only the formal education qualifications was counted in. But now all professional certificates are all taken in. And then some smaller register who also plan their training courses or check for licenses, or are they qualified to carry some task. And of course, Estonian Education Information System, who has all the students who have made professional exam, and also they validate their teachers' qualification, especially vet teachers' qualification, because for the vet teacher is mandatory to make a professional certificate exam. And yes, also agricultural registers and information board and Estonian Rescue Board are looking for the license to work. The professional certificate as the license to work. So much about theory, and now I'd like to show how it is in practice, but like the web links. No, it's not working. Yeah. Okay, I have to look over the shoulder. Where's the mouse? No mouse. Okay, thank you. Okay. This is our authority's webpage, and here is the register. And as you can see, this is quite plain comparing to the launched and other registers. And we are with educational info system, we have initiated the process to improve our web pages. And unfortunately, it's in Estonian, but here is all the online data about professional standards, certificates, and councils and awarding bodies. It's online data. If something changes, the numbers will change. Here are the professional standards and issued certificates. And this is the most important and most used link. And in here are all the, they are in Estonian, all the qualifications or occupations we have issued. Long list. And as you can see, there are different levels. So we used to have, one moment, I take it from here. We used to have our own 5-leveled framework, but we changed that. So we have now 8 levels, but because there are still the certificates still valid with the old level, we have to keep them both in database. And also you can see all the reference to the different classificators. But let's move on. The Estonian education info system is even more plain, and they said that their info system is not for public use. They only gather data for their own, but under the pressure of the other clerks and offices, they made the so-called public view. And it's very slow and only basic search engines, and all the curriculars or qualifications are PDF documents here. But they have a lot of information inside, and they launched a couple of years ago this Eye of Education, where is all the information published in interactive way. So you can search by general education, vocational education, higher education, by different counties, by schools, by girls, by boys, by curricula or qualification, how many passed professional exam, for the person, if you are looking your own data, you don't get that. You have to go to the public web estonia.ee. But I think my time is full. Any questions?
Ir jautājumi, lūdzu?
Well, thank you.
Are you planning in future a database including learning outcomes of qualifications?
Yes. In Register of Profession, there are so-called learning outcomes. So professional standards, we have a description of the competencies, and they are all in info system and they are public. But in education informational system, they are still working with that. They have that plan, but in longer future.
Okay. Do you have any other questions? Kolēģiem no Igaunijas nav.
Do you have any other questions for the colleague from Estonia?
Very interesting and quite experience. Just one question, maybe only last one question. Then you said you had quite a numbers of users of your
Yeah.
registered. Do you have any statistics who they are? And what purpose to use it?
Now I need mouse again. How I get out of that? Okay, yeah, I get. Users are
Public web visitors.
yes, it's public web users, and you mean who use that most?
Yes, like employers more or more students who are going to get some certificate or.
It's mostly used when somebody wants to apply to some kind of procurement. And sometimes if we have the incidents with our web, that the web is not working, then we can monitor who and how often is using our web, because instantly the phone calls start to came at what's have happened, I can't use that. So yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I see. Thank you, Heli, and let's go further. Paldies.